Next stop, Brown Talk. Brown Talk coming up. You've been warned.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard some criticism, by the way. Some people have labeled our show nothing but a shit-talking fest.
Oh, boy.
Just a show where people talk about their bowel movements. Frankly, I find it very disrespectful.
Me too.
And very offensive. That's not what this show is about.
Well, no, it's not just about bowel movements. It's about farting.
Yeah.
It's about burping.
Wiping.
And now another topic.
How do you want to get into this? Why don't you explain and then we can
play the audio that accompanies
Sure,
it?
because you were very thoughtful on top of what happened. You said, let's get a record of this right now.
Well, because it happened. So something happened on the way over on our flight. And I wanted to get it in the moment of when it happened, because I didn't want weeks and weeks to go by and then we come back.
And then you kind of go, "What happened that day?"
Yeah. And you know how it is when something critical happens, you need to journal it, you need to write it down to get your feelings and everything in the moment. So we did an impromptu audio recording of me retelling and Tom and I talking about what happened on the flight over. And so, Tom, are you gonna play it now?
Sure.
This is us in Durban discussing.
It's recording. What do you think of that?
It is. It's exciting. We're in our hotel room right now in Durbans.
We flew from L.A. to Atlanta to Johannesburg, or Joburg, as the locals call it, and then we got on another plane and flew to Durban. But an interesting thing happened while we were en route from Atlanta to Johannesburg.
Well, actually, yeah, no, you're right. But I'm not sure when the incident occurred.
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself. What happened was...
Well, don't tell them what happened.
Well, I'm saying what happened was you passed me...
Well, don't tell them that part.
Do you know how to tell a story?
Okay, you tell it. Go ahead, you tell it.
You passed me a note while we're on the flight that said something, and I was like, oh, and I thought it was a joke, and then you stood up and you came over, and why don't you tell everybody what happened?
Okay, so here's what happened. We flew from LA to ATL, and I was ripping some farts like I normally do, because we got up really early. And when you wake up early, you get very gassy. And so I was just ripping them like I normally do with pride. And then,
I did some heaters on the second flight.
We were both... The
second flight's where I really dropped some damage.
And as did I. So here I am from Atlanta to Johannesburg, and I'm just ripping them. Hot ones, too. Really hot. And I go to the bathroom just to go pee, because I can't really take shits on planes. And I noticed that there was a little brown in my underwear, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? And I remember you telling me stories about sharting. And I went to wipe, and sure enough, there was evidence that
You sharted.
I sharted. First shart.
Your whole life?
My first shart. I'm a grown man now. I sharted.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
Here, let's go back to it.
Well, because we had tacos before we got... I'm just remembering now that
Too
we
many,
got...
and they were juicy ones.
Juicy tacos in the Atlanta airport.
And then we ate on the plane right away.
Right. So now... But you know how in hindsight, it's always 2020?
Of course.
And I'm like, well, of course I sharted. We had fucking talks before we got on the plane.
Some real juicers.
Oh.
a shart had occurred.
So you sharted.
I had my first shart in the year. Ever in my entire... I've never sharted. I know I'm a man. I feel like I've become a full man.
Really? You earned your wings? Welcome
my
to the
brown
club.
wings?
Welcome to the club.
I feel like a full-grown man.
I want to make something... I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
So you don't notice anything until... Okay.
I know.
You pull your drawers down, right? You're taking a leak.
Just farted.
And you just look down and you see... In
the undercarriage.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, they're blue. They're blue underwear.
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh, what's that? Is that what I fucking think it is? Is that brown?" And I was like, oh my, I had a moment of
How
panic.
much? How much brown was in the underwear?
Just a spot, like a stain, like a showing.
Was it like chunky though? Was it
No,
like,
there was no chunks.
Was it like just a smudge, or was it actually?
It was like a smear. It was like a crayon. Like if you took a crayon and you rubbed it into my underwear, just a dot.
A brown crayon.
But then here's the worst part.
Yeah.
That when I went to wipe, there was a lot of brown.
There was.
toilet paper. And I panicked because I'm like, well, what do I do? I've got shitty brown underwear on the airplane. We have 16 hours to go. I can't sit in these.
Yeah.
And so I wetted some paper towels.
You turned them around. You wore them inside out in the front,
No,
right?
I did not.
What?
Do you do that?
When you do that,
Wait.
you turn them.
Tom, do you turn your panties inside out when you shart?
Of course, everybody does that.
Not everybody.
Everybody. If you shit a little bit in your underwear, you flip it inside out. That's what people do.
Then the poo rubs on your pants.
It's fine.
It's enough.
Inside out.
No, you do not.
Yeah, of course.
And you let the shitty part on your pants.
I just
Well,
and
you
on
kind of just rub it down, but yeah.
I can't do that.
Sure you do.
That's disgusting.
Okay, so wait, so you took your underwear off?
So I cleaned up.
Isn't it crazy that when we pause and talk,
Yeah.
we say the exact same thing twice?
It's so bizarre.
Our brains are just really one track.
Stupid.
Yeah.
We're not bright.
Harsh paper towels, which in retrospect, not a good idea because right now my bum is pretty sore.
Yeah.
From putting water on it and then washing it off with a paper towel.
so
So I
raw.
made sure it was all clean, and then I took the underwear off and I threw it away in the trash. And then that's when I saw you. I came back and I was freeballing in my sweatpants, and I was like, "Babe, you got to help me bring down my carry-on." Because here's what I do. I always
Do you remember when we were in backstage and you said Tom always has blood when he wipes? And Ian and Brian were like, really? Like, how much? And I was like, it's like big dark pools of blood. And they were both like, really?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. They're like, oh, I thought you were gonna die.
God, so scary. Brown, red.
carry extra underwear, toothpaste, floss, of course, and a day's worth of clothing just in case. And so I got down the underwear and then I put the underwear on. Now the bummer of all of this is that I was sleeping for the rest of the trip and I was so afraid to fart.
You were?
Yeah.
And that's not
Oh,
a
I
good
know.
feeling.
I've had that, the fear of farting kind
When you're afraid of your own farts?
especially if you had one sneak out earlier.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to be afraid of my own farts. And is this what it's like to be a man? I'm not sure I want to be a man anymore.
No, it's not what it's like to be a man all the time. But we all have days like that.
But then how do you know when you can fart and when you can't fart?
You just gotta fart all the time. But there's just when once your underwear is soiled like that, then you know that you're having a day where you gotta dial it in.
I threw it out in the airplane
You threw out
bathroom.
underwear in the airplane. Shit pants.
Shit pants.
Shit pants are in the.
Delta.
Wow.
Whoever had to clean up that saw my shitty, dirty underwear.
I mean, was there like you'd say like a handful of shit in them?
No, I mean, literally, it would be as though you took like a crayon,
And like, let's say, how big of a line?
like a dime. It was actually
Okay.
a round mark, like a dime-sized
little
brown
brown.
mark. Yeah,
And so you're like,
but
ooh.
there was a
And
mess
then-
in my butt cheeks. There was definitely a kind of a mess in there,
Really? Mm-hmm. Little Hershey fudge in
like
there.
a smear. Like if you took a Hershey's Kiss and you let it melt.
So that one was a little thick, a little juicier.
A little bit. I'm not gonna. It wasn't a chunk of poo, but it was poo-ish. It was like a residue. It was like I don't know how to explain it. Like if I were to take a mouthful of chocolate and kind of whistle, like blow or something, a spray.
Now,
it was a spray,
what do you-
brown spray.
You know what I think
mist.
it was? I wanted to tell you this because
Okay.
I realized my mistake when I was on the plane. When I was on the plane, I was like, after we had dinner, I was chilling. I was like, oof, I'm really dropping some heat. And then there was a couple that really almost made me get up and walk away. And I had a little discomfort, and I was, I was like, God, you know what the problem was? Those talks. We had those
Oh, I
talks.
forgot
Oh,
about the
shit,
talks.
see?
Yeah.
The problem was 2 talks. I should have had
Yeah.
1 talk just to hold me over.
Yeah.
The second talk really did me in.
Well, as a rule,
Sorry, guys.
Talks.
We did have talks. 2 talks.
And spicy hot sauces.
yeah. And
You
then-
know what though, Tom? After that day, I was afraid to fart for a couple of days. I'm not afraid anymore.
You got your confidence back.
I got my
You got your confidence.
I got my
back.
brown wings back.
Yeah.
Oil on the road.
I own the road. Absolutely.
Oil, brown oil. I'm not afraid anymore, but a lot of people have been asking us about African dumps.
Yes. And they were pretty good.
Well, you may have had better luck than me.
You didn't have terrible.
Well, I didn't have
a couple days you said, I got African dumps today.
when the African dumps are...
By the way,
What?
I told the story today on the set that you sharted.
You did not.
I did.
You told people.
I told everybody.
That you work with that
Yeah.
your wife got.
So my wife sharted on the plane.
They know me. Why would you tell executives that? They're like executives in a major network.
I said, my wife sharted on the plane. And
You did not. Are you being serious?
Yeah. I told everybody. And they
thanks,
were
babe.
like, really? And I was like, yeah. So I was telling the story.
Oh God.
And the makeup girl was like, I sharted once. Oh, shit.
Fuck. Knocked over the bottle.
All right.
Typical. Here, let me get some toilet paper.
Okay. I can't really tell you this with
What?
you gone.
Well, I'm right here. I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
Well, what happened?
Well, hold on. Why don't we clean this up first? Guys, this is real time. You get to spend time with us
Here,
for real.
you're right next to it.
Well-
It's not big. Don't cry about it.
That's not small.
No, it's not as big as it used to be. Wait, you told people that I sharded?
We're telling the whole world right now.
Yeah, but that's people that choose to listen.
Yeah.
It's not like your employers.
That's all right. No, I didn't tell the executives.
Oh, God.
I just told everybody else.
Okay. So, go ahead.
So I go to my wife sharded, and I tell them the story, and then
Yeah.
the makeup girl's like, I sharded once. And I was
What?
like, really? She's like, yeah, I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I went to fart. And I was like, oh my God. And then I go, what color clothes were you wearing? And she goes, brown juice water.
What?
And I was like, what? And then I realized she thought I was asking, like, what color did it come out?
Oh,
And
sure.
and I was like, no. Like, what color clothes were you wearing? Like, did people see it? She was like, brown juice water ran down my legs.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
But that sounds like a diarrhea shart.
Right. It was.
So she had
She went to
diarrhea.
fart, and then basically, she said it filled up her shoes.
See, I didn't have diarrhea that day. I just had like
I know.
morning anxiety doots. Like when I wake up early in the morning, I
Yeah.
just usually get gassy and sloppy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can happen.
It can happen anywhere.
But my African dumps, for those of you that are asking, I've been dying to tell you guys this. So what would happen, like, I would eat like a salad there, and then a few hours later, I would get severe cramping, abdominal cramping, to the point where I'd be like bent over. Just, oh, fucking, it hurts. And I'd have to take my iPhone into the bathroom and like play Scrabble. And then eventually I would shit and it would be like a normal shit.
Yeah.
And then,
But you had some cramping.
but it was weird. So those are my African dumps where you just get like severe pain and then
Yeah.
a normal doot comes out, which is fucking bizarre. But then I also had like full blown diarrhea where like just whatever I ate, like 20 minutes later, it would come right out of me.
I got real lucky on this trip.